is rolling.
All right. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Jay Beattie, and this is Sacred Minds, a new podcast. Why do we need a new podcast? I don't know. The reality is there's heaps of podcasts out there, but I don't think too many, especially in Australia, are dealing with Christian content in a way that looks at the scriptures in a literal sense. I'll just put it that way, in a very literal sense. So, look, I'm very excited about tonight's interview. The brother that we're about to interview is from Iran. He's a Christian. I've known him for a number of years now. He is a very good friend of mine. And considering what's going on in not just Israel and that conflict there, and no doubt we'll touch on that, but obviously in Iran. And my brother he was born there.
Yep.
And so in Tehran itself.
In
Tehran. So I want to introduce to you my very good friend. I'm Anamati, and as I say, I've known him for a number of years, and I want to ask him a few questions about his faith, his understanding of Scripture, how it relates to Israel, his understanding of Jesus, Yeshua, how that applies to his faith obviously, and the promises to Israel, but also his heart with regard to his faith and his family background coming from Iran.
That's a lot of hard questions.
It's a lot of hard questions. So I want to basically just throw it over to him, maybe introduce him from himself, and then we'll just open it up from there and just free flow it. How's that sound? So welcome along, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming tonight.
I feel special for being here for the first episode of the Sacred Mind. So
yeah. So look, right off the bat, can I just ask you? So give us a little bit of your history of how you grew up. Your family and your culture, your faith, all of that stuff.
That's going to be an episode on its own.
Yes.
But I was born in Tehran, in Iran, and I grew up in a not so religious family. Mom and dad, they prayed and they do their religious like daily prayers and all that. But they actually never forced it on me. They never, like, unlike a lot of families that they kind of like strict with it. They were not. They were quite liberal in that. So
sense. Obviously Muslim.
Obviously Muslim. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the cases. I know that they have a lot of diversity in Iran, from different backgrounds and all that. But the rule of thumb is like not more than 95% of the time. If you're born in Iran, you're automatically Muslim. Like that's assumed by the government, or just in your birth certificate. Yeah. They kind of like
so it's like you're christened that way, not that you're christened.
No, it's just like
born,
born from a Muslim family,
Muslim.
And it's just like you're a Muslim.
Yeah.
Nobody actually asks you about like what do you actually believe. Well, they can't because you're just an infant. But that's the reality. Unless that you're from like from different ethnicities, like in their minorities in Iran. Like we do have Jews in Iran. We do have Jews.
Wow, I did, because I thought they all went in 1947.
If they wanted to move out of Iran,
so are they?
Because it's not easy to live with being minority there, right? But it's not actively. They're not actively suppressed.
I did not know that.
No, we do have Jews. We do have.
Are they practicing Jews though, or are they bloodline Jews that are Muslim?
Not
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, That question comes back in. Are you talking about their ethnicity, or is it?
Because when you say you're Jewish, there's three things. It's bloodline.
Yeah.
It's nation, but it's also faith.
Yeah, and that's
Judaism.
Yeah, and that's one of the things.
So are they just bloodline and Muslim?
They're definitely bloodlines, but whether they're whether they're Muslims,
Jewish,
yeah,
as in faith, or Muslim.
I don't know, but
Interesting.
I know that again. Like this is one of the things that I heard. And I, in first-hand sort of experienced it as well.
Yeah.
Is that like if you're from a Christian family, like they moved in, I don't know, 60 years ago or 70 years ago, and like there's a family, and again, like we do have churches in Iran. They're beautiful cathedrals there, beautiful, super beautiful, with all these glassworks and all that. And if you're from a background that's you are, for example, Armenians, right? We do have a section of Iran in the northwest of Iran that they're kind of like focused there, but they are still in all around the country as well. If you're from our Armenian community, you can pray, you can practice your faith, right? Zoroastrians, we do have Zoroastrians in Iran. It's actually one of the most ancient religions in the world, Zoroastrian. And it was started in Iran, and that's why a lot of Iranians that they're seeking alternative, they kind of like opt into Zoroastrian without actually knowing much into it. It's just like, I'm Zoroastrian. Why? Because they kind of like feel connected. Yeah, it's connected to my land. But again, they can practice. Jews, I've never seen them firsthand myself.
It must be like a minority.
Very much, like even Sunnis, we do have like you know that you know that we have like Iran is majority Muslim and majority Muslim Shia.
Yes, Shia.
But we do have Sunni communities as well.
So Saudi Arabia is obviously, what are they?
Sunnis, the majority Sunnis. Yeah.
Sunni, that's right.
Again, like Sunni people that they live, for example, in Balochistan or which is southeast of Iran, and then some parts of the west side of Iran in Kurdistan. There are Sunnis, but again, they're living in that country.
Right.
In time to time, and by a lot of radical people, they do get suppressed. But
they do,
Okay. But
so how does the Ayatollah handle them? Because they're obviously
with majority of the
kingly line, not the caliphate line.
With the majority of the with minorities, like Christians, Jews, all that. The rule is that you can pray, right?
Just don't proselytize.
Don't go and recruit. Don't
convert.
Don't convert.
Okay.
Don't try to advertise that outside, and don't tell about your religion. Actively trying to recruit. Again, like we've had leaders of different religions from Christians to Sunnis and all that. The problem starts with the government when they start to recruit. The only type of religion denomination, religion I would call it, that immediately gets in trouble in Iran are the people that are from Baha'i faith. That face tells me that you don't know about Baha'i.
No, what is Baha'i faith?
They have a faith.
Two faiths?
No, it's Baha'i. It's like
Baha'i.
Baha'i, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They run into trouble.
Absolutely. Yeah, to the
Why?
point of persecution.
Aren't they a peace-loving? Who are they going to hurt?
I have a lot of friends that are from that faith. And again, here never knew them in Iran, but again, they're just not a human being for me.
So persecuted, and they've had to move.
They're heavily persecuted.
But they are.
They are heavily persecuted.
What's wrong with them?
I really don't know. I can't say
because there's a lot here in Australia, obviously.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing one of the main things. See, like with any other religions, right?
Yeah.
I'll start with like Sunnis, for example.
Yeah.
They believe in Muhammad.
Yeah.
It's just in the tiny bits and pieces that they who was the Khalifa, who was the righteous one, and all that.
That's
who should have been the first Khalifa and all that.
Yeah.
And,
so
different denominations.
Denominations. Use that word.
And then they're fine. See, like the baseline is kept, right? With Christians, Muslims do have like they do accept that Christianity is a faith. They actually accept Jesus as a prophet of God.
So when you say Muslims, you mean the Shia?
No, Muslims. Shias and Sunnis. Like it's actually it's been written in Quran that it's about the Mother Mary. They actually have a chapter called Maryam.
Yes. No, I've actually read that. And so, but with regard to the Shia, and so that's the state. Let's call sanctioned, state-sanctioned faith. Would you say?
What would it be? State.
So the Ayatollah.
Yeah.
He is Shia.
He's Shia. Yeah.
So I would say state sanctioned, state accepted.
Yeah.
State blessed. You would even say state enforced.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of. Okay. So with regard to the...
I could be wrong, and Alex, you can check it with our friend. You don't have to show the screen, but I think that the official religion stated for Iran in its
it'd be good to check that.
in its what would you call it, institution is, I think it's Islamic Shia.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that one.
Yeah. So with regard to that though. So
yes, it is the. It's the Shia is the official.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Because even Shias have different. Shias have different denominations. They have to be the 12th Imam Shia. Like they actually have to accept it.
So with regard to the Shia Islam. Do they accept different denominations of Shia? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like we have like
you've got Baptists and you've got Presbyterians, but
no. So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With Shia, they have like 6 Imam Shia, and you can actually check as well. And then like they have different types of Shia with different number of imams that they accept. Or who did they actually accept? But generally speaking, when someone says Shia and I'm from Iran, they refer to the 12th Imam.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there you go. The major branches are 12s, and then there should be 8 or 6.
And so the Ayatollah is one of them.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So he has direct line to Muhammad.
Oh, that is different. Oh,
that's Sunni then, isn't
it? No. You're completely mixed all these ones.
Help me out.
It's like saying that you're a Baptist Christian pastor, right?
Yes.
So are you in direct line with Jesus? Like direct bloodline to Jesus? No. So exactly. So Ayatollahs.
Yes.
And basically they're the relics of, like they're the pastors of.
Okay, so
like they're the pastors. The imams.
The imams. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're the faith leaders.
Yeah, they're faith leaders, or they're faith leaders, exactly like pastors, right?
But Sunni follow the kingly line.
Forget about the Sunnis for a second.
Okay, sorry.
You have so many questions about Shia and Sunni at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
I'll tell you what the major difference between Shia and Sunni is.
Yes.
But the Shia ones, they have a lot of different, like pastors and preachers, right?
Yes.
The ones that you see that they have a black turban on their heads.
Yes.
As well, and this is the case for the Ayatollah Khomeini.
Yes.
It was the supreme leader of Iran, and Ayatollah Khomeini as well.
Right.
But you don't see that in, for example, one of the early presidents of Iran, Hashemi Rafsanjani. I don't think that he was. He was wearing a black turban. Why? The ones that are wearing the black turban.
Yeah.
They have the prefix in their names called Sayyid.
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 Oh, you like a prince.
Sort of sir. It's more of a sir.
Sir.
Right?
Okay.
And they are claiming that we have a bloodline connected to Muhammad. We are children of Muhammad. And
right.
How are you children of Muhammad? Because Muhammad didn't have a son.
No,
so
it's a faith thing.
So Muhammad's daughter was Fatima.
Yes.
And Fatima's husband was Ali. So they're saying like we are children of Ali and Fatima.
Yes.
And then that way we are connected to Muhammad.
Right.
It's just kind of like a stating that the bloodline really doesn't mean
Okay.
much, sort of. But like again, like when they wear the turbine, and some some normal people as well. I'll tell you this one as well. Some normal people that there's certain normal people that they can be believers or non-believers as well of the Islam or not. They have Sayyid as well. I have so many friends that they call, like, they have prefix of Sayyid. It means that they're connected to the Muhammad as a bloodline. Some of them just wear a green scarf time to time just to show that we're connected. And historically speaking, not these days, you don't see it much, but historically people were very respectful toward those people. They're having a high respect. Like, for example, if there was a child and it was just doing a naughty thing, I don't know, just breaking the window, like if he or she breaks the window, and it can be she as well, by the way. Like Sayyid is from sirs. Sayyida is or Sayyide, as they call it in Persian, is the female version of Sayyid, which is like, I don't know what's the female version of sir, but ma'am or something like but if I'm talking about like 20, 30 years ago, right? If there was a kid and they were playing and then they break someone's window as a result of playing or whatever, or mischieving, if they come out and they see like, and they know him, it's like he's Sayyid blah blah. It's like, because of your, and they usually say that, because of your fathers, I'll forgive you or something like that. Okay. And it's because of your fathers that I don't say anything. In hope, and that's the belief, that I have mercy on you.
Yeah.
You're a child of Ali and Fatima.
Right.
So in the day of in the judgment day, they'll put a good word for me. They say like, he was kind to my child. Merciful. Yeah, because
gotcha.
Because they believe that these guys, like Ali, Fatima, and all the 12 imams, and as well as Muhammad,
yes,
they kind of like have their word has a way with the God. Right. It's like God actually listens to them as well. It's like, these are my chosen people. These are my messengers. Same as Jesus. Like, but we don't have a bloodline of Jesus. So that's right. So back to your question about the Shia and Sunni before you get to my story of my life.
Yes.
Shia and Sunni, they have one major difference. Okay. Who was the first Khalifa after Muhammad died, and that's it. Like, if I want to boil it down to one point, they have a lot of minor stuff, like how did they pray, during the daily prayers. Sunnis pray specific way, I think, with their hands closed like this, and then Shias have that, or like their the main difference is who was the righteous first Khalifa, I should say that, who should have been the first righteous Khalifa. Shia people believe that on a certain day, on one of the last trips of Muhammad to Mecca, for the Hajj, what do we call it? For the pilgrim, the last pilgrim, he actually got everyone to stop there in middle desert, piled up all the saddles of the camels and all that, and this is their story, and said, Ali, get up, and lifted up his arm up and said, who I'm his leader is now Ali. Ali is his leader. Ali is his son-in-law now, right? So he was saying like, who I'm his master or leader, like, or the leader. Now Ali is his leader, right?
Okay. So it's like they're commissioning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now
he's the leader of the faith of people. Yeah.
It's like,
and so there's distinctives as to who it was.
But the thing is that Sunni people believed in this historical event as well.
Yes.
But the major discrepancy comes from that they were saying like, oh no, when he was saying that the leader, it means that whoever keeps like whoever likes me should like Ali now,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Treat him well, kind of
Treat him
thing.
well, yeah.
And then Ali is actually one of the Khalifas of Sunnis as well, but the
Yeah.
fourth, I think third one or fourth one,
Yeah.
not the first one.
Okay.
Shia people do not believe in the first 2 or 3 ones at
Okay.
all, and they say like our and then even they don't call him Khalifa. He's like he's our Imam, is our beacon and the leader as is Ali, and then that's why there are 12 of them. They're basically the power got transferred to the son of Ali and the son of.
It's so confusing.
It is.
It's confusing.
Well, when
Yeah.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
You know that how in Abrahamic religions, right?
Yes.
How the power was going between which son gets it and who goes it to.
Yes.
That's how the leadership transferred within the Shias.
Yes.
In Sunnis, they say like whoever is the Khalifa who's been chosen. I can't remember.
Right. So
why.
one's a bloodline and one's your chosen line.
Yeah, kind of like yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's basically again like if you want to boil it down is like who's Shia and who's Sunni is like who do they believe as the first leader or actually the leader after that Muhammad died. So
Right.
that's it. Even them they can that's why we're saying like even they can practice but they cannot advertise it or just or preach it.
Okay. So So basically, Iran though is state-sanctioned Shia,
Yeah.
and you grew up in that culture. So you would have gone to school
Oh yeah.
in a Shia school.
Yeah, they don't call it Shia school. They
No,
like,
but
anything like imagine like do you go to the English school in Australia? No, you just go to school.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
right.
it's just
Forgive me.
it.
Forgive my ignorance. So okay. So yeah, you went to school.
Yeah, you got
You go to
but
school.
the school that I was going to was very, very, very religious.
Okay.
If you think that the
So
like
we have Christian schools.
they're
You had Islam.
no, they actually don't
As a,
they don't advertise it like that, right? But
Okay.
in they don't say that this is very, very, very
Islamic.
Islamic school. No. They do have their own schools to get you to become preachers. Like, for example, imagine if you want to become a pastor, you go to the
Caliphate school.
Yeah.
Or Imam school.
But they have a place
Like a Quran college.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
It's called Hosa Elmiya. It means
Right.
that like a center of science,
Right.
but but Islamic science,
But
right?
that's not your school.
No, that was not my school.
So
my
why is
school,
your school religious? Like why?
Why
What made
it-
your school more religious?
they
Yeah.
just what makes it what makes, for example, the grammar school is a good school here, right? But
Yeah.
still some parents they decide to take their kids
They
to
would
Catholic schools
Okay. Sure. Okay. So Yeah.
because how much of
Yeah.
the faith do they teach in there? Now,
Yes.
my parents did not take me to that school because of the faith, though.
why did they take you?
Because it happens that, at least it happened back then, back in my time, a lot of good schools that they had a good academic teachers,
They were.
they were employed by these religious schools. It's exactly the same thing happened
So you get
for my
better
brother.
education.
It was purely for my education.
Education.
Yeah. So my brother was like
Scholastic,
9 years older than
yeah,
me.
yeah.
He was going to the high school that it was very, very religious as well.
Right.
And guess who was in that? Like the top 2 teachers, like physics and math,
Yeah.
were exactly in that school. But then 9 years later, the school that I was going to, they got hired by my school.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Why? Because they could afford more. Why did they get to those? Why a lot of teachers used to go to those type of schools? Is because they get paid more. Why did they get paid more? Because I think in the background, those type of schools that they're kind of like preaching and kind of like hammering the Islam in your head. I think I don't have a proof for it, but I've got a feeling that they get some sort of a support from governments.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so okay, you were there, I'm assuming 5 years in your senior So
No,
was this senior?
I was going to that school from grade 2 to grade 10. So
Grade
8
10.
years, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 years, yeah. 8 years.
Okay, and then after that, you
And I went to another school, but that school, that very religious school, when you
Yeah.
say like we have Christian, like Catholic schools,
yeah.
they're like a child's play compared to those.
To those, yeah.
They're aimed for brainwashing you. I still remember that.
Okay.
Like, look, I'm blessed that my parents never actually amplified what was taught to me in the school.
So did that harden you to the faith, Islamic faith, or?
Certain things happened that just made me not to want to be Muslims anymore. There, like it's just basically you snap out, right? Like you not you were or you not necessarily snap out. You snap.
Yeah.
Because there's only a threshold that you can take, right?
Just against the God of Islam, or just God in general?
God in general, because
Yeah.
that was the only God that I knew, right?
Right.
It was
So
like, if this
you
is the God
become-
that they're talking about,
I don't want to.
no, I don't want it. I'm
And
trying
so-
to keep it PG, by the way. So
Yeah,
to
I
try,
understand.
yeah.
I understand.
But that's the thing. It's that
Yeah.
when I start,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? There is no God. If this is the God that they keep
I'm
talking
out.
about it, I'm out.
I'm
Like,
done.
there is no God. I tried to look for some alternatives and all that, just some cults actually.
Okay.
But no, I
After
didn't find it.
school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are usually two type of people that are like from my cohort, because I'm still in contact with some of my cohort like
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
This is a trend that I see. Again, like there could be some people in the middle, or some people that came to a faith of God,
Yeah.
similar to me, but they probably don't go and tell everyone
Yeah.
about it. But the thing is that majority of students that they were studying, they either got perfect product of the brainwash,
Yep.
and got kind of like molded into Islamic regime ideology, or
Totally not.
or totally not.
Went the other way.
Yeah, I'm amazed that I haven't seen any of them became Satanists or like those rituals
maybe
or
they
anything like.
did,
Oh,
but-
maybe they are. I haven't seen them.
But do they stay? Did they stay in Tehran? Like, do they, or have they left? Like most.
Oh,
of
a
your
lot
friends?
of my friends that around my age,
Yeah.
they've left. Some of them are staying. Look, I would say 50-50, and that's another
Okay. Is it
problem
easy-
for Iran.
Yeah.
Is
Is
that-
it easy to get out? Like,
No. So
Yeah.
imagine that how much you have to. No, it's not easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy to get out.
To leave.
One, it's not that the government doesn't want you to leave. No, it's not that.
Oh.
No, the government doesn't want to. If the government doesn't do anything to keep you in, right?
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
But getting out is hard. Why? For me, or for a lot of other people that go to English-speaking countries like Canada, US, and all that,
Yeah.
You have to pass English test, and then you have to
Yes.
go through the visa applications and all that. And I came
So
here
it's the country that you're wanting
to go to. yeah.
go to.
Yeah.
That makes it hard.
Yeah, that makes it hard.
That's the issue. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not Iran.
No, it's not Iran. Iran is
It's-
just like, even to go.
It's
If you want to
Canada,
go,
or
go.
Australia, or America that
Yeah.
are going.
And-
Listen, mate, we may
And
not
over
want
time,
you.
no, and then like look,
Right.
and there are certain
Yeah.
cases, like for example in America or in Canada,
Yeah.
they do have a lot of good scholarships programs for the people, and
Yes.
and a lot of top students that they get graduated from university in Iran instantly get
Yeah.
pouched by top universities.
Yeah,
you
'cause
see
they
that
want their
he's
marks.
gone from the top university in
Yeah.
Iran,
Yeah.
boom,
So-
gone to the top university of England or
Yeah. They
US.
snap you up.
Yeah,
So,
they snap you.
so how old were you when you came to Australia?
21. I was 21.
21. You turned 21 in Australia.
Not yet, no.
Oh, so you were 20.
Sorry, did I turn 21 in Australia? I can't remember.
Had your big party in Tehran.
I think I actually did turn 21 in Australia.
Here.
Yeah, it was a couple of
Living
months
hard,
after
eh?
I came here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was just you. Why? And how did you get in? Like,
Oh, I came as an international student.
So you studied here?
Yeah, I studied here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I studied here. But again, another trouble of getting out. It's like, alrighty, it's just in English. Just study it, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Then you have to pay the fee as an international student, and then with an exchange rate.
Wow. Yes.
Actually, Alex, do something. I don't know if this was not this bad back then, right?
Okay.
But Alex, can you go to Google and you probably can just edit these in. Just go to Google and then just type in Iran Rial versus Rial is it's RIAL, not real.
Oh.
Rial, versus dollar.
Oh, yeah, it's come up.
The number that you're looking is not a
mate.
cryptocurrency. It's not a cryptocurrency. it's a country's currency.
Can they see it up?
Well, yeah, they can see it. Yeah.
And that's versus
What
Australian
the
dollar,
heck?
right?
Yeah.
Put versus USD.
US dollar. Oh,
That's
probably-
worth zero.
this
Yeah,
is-
when I show that to a lot of people, and it's like, is that a cryptocurrency value? It's like, no, it's not.
It does look like a
Mate.
cryptocurrency. Where's US?
Just USD.
Yeah.
No, just USD. There you go.
Yeah, I'll have it.
Oh.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
That is unbelievable.
Mate. So zero.
It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Like, when you...
That's awful.
That's awful, yeah.
You know, but with all the stuff that's going on the last few days,
You can see that it's gone down.
has that drop? Yeah, look at it. It's tanked.
Yeah.
5 years, look at the 5.
Yeah, go to the high. Like when? Okay, here we go. But it's still bad. I mean, even when it was good, it was
It's always
not.
been horrible.
It's always been awful.
Yeah, it's only.
Look at that flat line, man. What was that? That must have been.
No, that's flat line. If you go on it, it'll have a value. That flat line back there.
This one.
Back. Keep going. It has a value, but it's a steady.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, they said
That's usually. I'm not sure what time era is
They
that.
must
That's
have said
2020. Already.
it.
Yeah. During those times, government, they interfere with the market.
Yeah,
they say like
said it.
they set a
They
price.
said it.
They
You can
set
see
the
that
price.
flat lines.
Yeah.
So-
it's not an open market
Wow.
of the global market.
So you came with zero, basically nothing.
Sort of. Yeah. Look.
Come on, man. Look at it.
Well, again, like it was
It
not
says
that, it was
zero.
not that bad. To be fair,
Okay.
just to give you some figures, right?
Yeah.
When I came here, each
You could probably work it out. Like if
no,
you put-
because it's still that is like 5 years. I came here 17 years ago, 18 years ago.
so it would have been.
It was much better. It was much better. I'll give you the figure so you can see that how much it was better.
Okay.
It was at least 100 times better than that.
Okay.
So
0.01.
probably, yeah.
0.01 better. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, so each
Mate, it's
Australian
nothing.
dollar back then it was about
0.0001.
we don't calculate that. It's like if I give you $1 Australian, how much
Yeah.
would I get, right?
Yeah.
It was 400 toman, which is the other currency. When they this is the other thing that I have to mention on the podcast as well. Iran's rial is like if you count something with cents.
Yeah.
So when you go to a shop, do they say like how much is my coffee? Do they say 500 cents? They don't.
No.
$5, right?
Yeah. So a real is not a dollar.
No, real is
Iran?
kind of like a cent of what the actual thing is.
Okay. Well, what's a dollar? Like
It's
what-
toman. I don't know if but the
Yeah.
problem is that the actual TOMT. Yeah,
That's
there you
it
go.
there. Oh, that's only half. Look. Oh no.
No, it's still
Still
pretty bad.
bad.
Still pretty bad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that doesn't change
No,
at
no.
all.
It changes a little bit by a couple of zeros, but it basically just brings
Dude.
2 zeros in front.
Okay, so how many you
So when it came, it was 1 to 400. So 1 Australian dollar was 400 toman.
Toman?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So toman is like actual dollar.
Dollar.
Right? Yeah.
So 1 in 400. There
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
1 in 400.
So that
now,
lists it out.
again, I haven't checked the market, but I think that each Australian
Dude.
dollar now is about 1 to 60,000.
Yeah, bro.
So it's 15,000, like 1,500 times worse now.
Dude,
So
no.
again, like
So
yeah,
you're coming with nothing, right?
yeah,
Seriously,
except
nothing.
like I came with nothing, and my parents did everything that they could, and like
So you came
just
by
fund.
yourself.
Yeah.
So
My brother was here. No, my brother was here.
Your brother's here.
Not he's not here now, but he was here back then.
So he was here, and you came in as a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Or what? Studying.
Yeah.
How did you come to Christ?
Oh,
Like,
that starts. Part of it starts before.
Because you've got all this
it's
atheism and anger and whatever you've got, right?
I've shared it with our church before. So there was a point in my life that, again, I was angry at God. I was, again, because of all that pressure that gets on you.
So you've flown into Sydney?
No. This is before.
Before he,
Before even coming to Australia. Before coming to Australia, like before.
Just angry.
I was just angry at God. I was, and as I was growing up, I was actually such an arrogant person. I was that I was looking for anyone to say the G word, God.
Yeah, could you just take him on?
I was just going for the throat.
Really?
I was like, what did you say?
Yeah.
What was that G word that you say, for example? It's just, did you say God? There is no God or anything like that. I was just using any excuse to just...
Were you allowed to be an atheist, though, over there?
It's not written on my forehead. I can be whatever I want in my heart.
Yeah, sure, but this state-sponsored... They wouldn't allow an atheist, surely.
Again, it's not written on my forehead, so... I don't have this.
You're ready to go at him. So.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're atheist. You can still question it.
You still question it.
And you can still question it. Yeah, you can still question it.
Okay.
But and again, this is something that just like you, if someone comes in and starts saying F words against Jesus, you would say like, sit down, let's have a chat about it, right? Some of the nice ones that and I'm lucky that I never got into trouble for such behavior, right?
Right.
And I was controlling myself to say like I was angry, but I was not stupid.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
that's good.
So if there was like, if I felt like, look, doesn't matter if whatever I say, it's gonna get me into trouble. You don't go to a Christian church and start saying like bad words about Jesus. You would get some reactions, or probably some bad reactions. Depends on who you go, whose church you go to, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're fairly well behaved. I mean, but look, outside.
Yeah. Or
you can. You,
no. Like, if you still want to like have a go, a lot of my going on at the G word and triggering off was more of a one-on-one, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you were angry.
And at the same time, I was trying to, or at least I thought that I was studying for the reasons that why my belief was right. Why there's no God. Why this whole thing. I was still studying, right?
Yeah.
As much as I thought I was reading. But this is one of the things that something happened in Iran, and I really wanted to like to had a chat with my cousin, and she said, "Look, I know that you get triggered off the G word, right? And I don't say that be a religious person, but she was telling me that, look, anytime that I wanted something really bad from God, I was like, what did you say? I was like, no, just hear me out. Anytime that I really wanted something bad in my life, right? She said that she said that, God bless her soul. She said that every time I really wanted something bad in my life, I went to a church. And I was like, what? And I was like, yeah. I went to church. And
like a Christian church?
A Christian church, yeah. And she was not Christian. She was not Christian, but
She went to a church in
this was the spark before even I come to Australia.
Yeah, okay.
Up until that point, maybe I went to a church as a kind of like a sightseeing kind of thing, and just thought, oh, look at that's what it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I never stepped in there as wanting something, right? And she said, like, look, there's no harm in that. Like, go there, turn on a candle, and
light a candle and
light up the candle and pray to Mother Mary. She said that this is my experience. It could be completely off for you.
Why don't you try it?
why don't you try it? What do you like? She was like, if you don't want to even
give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. If you want,
Can't hurt.
I have a candle as well here. You don't have to even buy it at their cathedral.
Yeah.
Just pray to Mother Mary and see what happens.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? Just to prove you that you're wrong,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I'll go and do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Wow.
But when I went there,
Yeah.
I felt different. It's like, you know, when in your head it's like, the moment I see that guy, I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna punch them in the face, and it's just gonna say that like, like PG again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this and that to their face.
Yeah.
And you get to the door,
Yeah.
or that day it was open actually.
Yeah.
But for a normal person, like you go to someone's door and then they open the door.
I greet you.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
And your tone completely changes. There's no punch, there's no bad words or anything like that. I went there, the moment that I went there, just the environment was calm.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what?
What are you
I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pray. And it happened. Whatever I had in heart, the desire that I had in,
What do you attribute that to, though? Was it the stained glass windows?
I think that just, when I reflect on it, I think that God wanted to really show that it is possible.
It is
I do
possible.
exist. But you want to doubt it? It exists. So,
Dude, so there you would say that was a defining moment for you.
not really, no. It was just a sign. It was an omen.
Okay.
That
So you hadn't left Iran yet?
no. I was still there.
Still there.
And you remember that I said like I first-hand experienced that if you want to recruit or practice other religions, they will get into trouble. Not only you, but they will get into trouble as well.
Right. So they can't tell you anything.
They did. They said, "I'll come. You're more than welcome to stay here up until this time, but after that, I have to respectfully ask you to leave because we have got a prayer session."
Yeah.
Saying that, and like someone, if any Christian in Australia or Western country hears that, it's like, what, they told you off the church when they actually wanted to pray when you were there? Like they usually welcomes it was like just you join us for prayer.
Yeah, but they told you to leave.
Because they didn't want to get into trouble of it getting accused that you're of sponsorship. And on top of that, there is a Sharia law in Islam in general that once you accepted, once you're a Muslim, once you're accepted that faith, you can't go out, or the punishment is the capital punishment.
Yeah, okay.
Right. The question is that what
and curfew.
No. There's no. It's like once you're a Muslim, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Like or it's basically it's your life.
Yeah.
Having said that, a lot of preachers or the people.
You can't convert.
But this is the thing that a lot of preachers or a lot of people that they're studying even Islam as their as their theology of that.
Yes.
They always comment on this, that what sort of becoming Muslim are we talking about?
Yeah.
Think about it. If a baby, like you just put holy water on their head and they baptize them, are they truly baptized?
Well,
Are they truly Christians?
No, I would say no, because it's not come from the heart.
Exactly.
So,
And they're equal preachers.
Yeah.
I guarantee that if I was sitting next across a Catholic pastor, they would have said something else. Of course they are Christian.
Yeah, that's it. They're baptized with the holy water.
Exactly.
Done.
You see that how your interpretation of what happened exactly the same event is different. We have the same different perspective on this as well. So some of them they say like yes, you should get persecuted. Some people say no, you should not be persecuted.
Okay.
Because was it actually no one actually asked you that you want to be Muslim. Because you know what, this might be interesting for the audience as well. Do you know what Islam is actually? It comes from surrender. Yeah. You know that in Middle East or even in Hebrew, what is hello?
Yeah.
Salam.
Shalom. Yeah.
Or shalom in Hebrew. Salam means peace upon you.
Yeah.
And then Or they say, or in Arabic countries they say Salamun alaikum. It means that peace upon you. But it means peace. And then Islam it's driven from another word, taslim, means that you actually get surrender in front of the God. And a lot of people think that a lot of preachers they think that you actually, back then when you were infants, you don't even know how to surrender to God. So in it, I thought that would be interesting just to know that what Islam and Salam means. Fast forward, I walked into a church because I kind of missed that moment that I experienced in Iran, and I just my heart was.
Came to Australia.
I came to Australia, and I was living here for like 3-4 years.
Okay.
And then I was feeling a little bit heavy, and I just my mind was busy and all that, and I thought about what my cousin told me years ago. I was like, when you want to do that, just go to the church. Turn on light up a candle for Mother Mary. I know that's idealism, but
that's right.
Just pay your respect and ask her. She's the mother of Jesus. If you ask anything in her son's name, she'll give it to you. And then I went to church. I went to City Tabernacle. Yes.
Baptist one.
Yeah, the Baptist one. Yeah. And I didn't.
In Brisbane there.
Yeah, in Brisbane, yeah. And who was your friend? Like, I forgot his name. He was the pastor there.
Peter Francis.
Peter Francis.
We'll
Pastor Peter Francis. Love him. Love him.
And his dear wife, they've been friends for years.
Yeah. Peter Francis was...
he was a pastor.
Pastor there, yeah.
Yeah, I did my...
and I went there and just like sat. No one came and bothered me or anything like that. No one asked him to leave. And the other day, it was Sunday actually, I went there. And I knew that it was a prayer time. I was shocked that they were welcoming me. I was like, welcome. Like the other place asked me to leave. After a while, I realized that why they asked me to leave in Iran. But I was shocked back then. I was like, I can come in? They were like, of course. And I was like, just join us. You can take a seat. And just that friendliness of them brought my guard down. I was like, you know what? I was angry at the certain people of God. Right? Yeah. But this is not bad. These people are nice. I don't mind being around nice people. So I kept going and going, and then obviously their sermons and the preachers that Peter was servicing that was just beautiful. It just connected. It spoke to me. So after a while, I went and had a chat with Peter, and I thought, I'm ready to surrender to Lord. And then after a while, having said that, a lot of these caused a bit of an issue back in Iran, but since it's a broadcast, it's my point to include it there. But he was over the moon. He was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I got baptized in there. They actually have a specific pool.
They do, they do.
They have more money than you.
Yeah, they do.
That's what in Brisbane and here in Ipswich.
Mate, look at it. Yeah. It's fantastic. I've preached from there. It's so good. It's a lovely church.
Again, fast forward. I was going to the church, and then I moved my place to like another place. I was look. In all honesty, I think that what I'm about to say is just an excuse, right? That I moved. So it was a little bit harder for me to go, right? Okay. But it's just an excuse. I know that.
Sure.
You can straight away call it BS. But I was still in Brisbane. The main reason that it stopped going was that I got drawn to sin, and to be honest, I thought that, you know what, because we call ourselves children of God. If I was God, and this is my wrongdoing, assuming that I can put myself in the shoe of God, but I thought that if I was a child of God, I would have been so ashamed to have such a child. If I was God, I would have so be ashamed to have such a misbehaving, sinful child.
Okay.
So I stopped going. And I stopped going.
Just guilt.
Yeah, just guilt. Just guilt. up until 6 years ago that I hit the rock bottom very, very hard, and I just remembered one of my safe place, and I came to the Pure Baptist Church, and loving it. I love the people here. This is how I saw and I felt that God has opened His arm. He actually, the truth is, He never closed His arms. It's just me being an idiot. I was looking the other way.
Yeah, it's always the case.
He actually never closes His arms. He's always there. Like He's always there for you.
He is.
It's just a matter of whether you're looking at it or like, why am I lost? Just like turn around. And His grace is there. His grace is there. If you stand against, like, if you stand with your back against the sun, the only thing that you see is the shadow of yourself, and you keep saying that where's the light in there? It's not. Just turn around. You're on the right you're on the right path with the wrong direction. That's how I was. Even when I was looking to like fight God in my head and with anyone that I could, and just debate the existence of God or not, because of all those informations that I was reading. I was reading the information, but I just wanted to be biased and take it to the point that I wanted. I was in the right direction, but just facing the wrong way. I was on the right road, going the wrong direction. Imagine if you want to go from Brisbane to Gold Coast. You can be on F1.
It's direct road.
But we be on the other way. It's like, why do I not get to Gold Coast?
And look, He brings you back, doesn't He? You know, and He uses those detours to make you stronger.
100%.
So here's the question. You are a believer in Jesus Christ.
I am.
You have accepted Him as your Saviour from sin. Jesus is a Jew. We worship a Jew. He's God.
The physical form of it, though.
Of course. But as a man, He came up through a Jewish line, and well, you know, you've been under the preaching of the Word of God here for many years. How do you reconcile with, especially what's been happening this last few days? Because we would say that there are promises for the land of Israel to be fulfilled, and there are obviously promises for the world and for people of faith. But how do you reconcile with your faith in Christ, the prophecies regarding Israel, and your birthplace, your love?
Who killed Jesus? Jews did.
They absolutely did. Yeah, well, Romans as well. So it was state-sanctioned murder, but it was basically
Jews. Jews did.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're
still today. Look, I think they're about 2%, maybe that, of Jewish people in Israel that are
Christians.
Followers of Yeshua, Christians. It's pretty hard to be a Christian in Israel. We obviously, we support One for Israel, which goes out a ministry to Jews and Arabs.
See if I can send this one to Alex as well. I didn't know that this topic was going to come up, but this is an interesting topic as well. That
Did you send that?
Yeah, I just did. If you want to download it and put it on. In terms of the Christians and other religions in Israel, before you play that, because click on that one and see if it gives you the download option, the down button. No, it doesn't. Alrighty.
What's the deal?
This
This
is
isn't about Netanyahu. I was reading Haaretz a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. There was an opinion poll that shocked the core of me, shocked everyone.
I know the one you're talking about.
Sent shockwaves in my bones.
The majority of people in Israel think that the Palestinians should be removed from
Wait.
Gaza. Is that the one?
it's not only that.
I was shocked.
83%.
Yeah, I found that shocking.
83% of a society wants to annihilate another society. The genocidal genes in Israel is very scary for them before us.
Wait. Why?
And the same problem, more than half of the Israeli people want to get rid of non-Jewish citizens of the state of Israel.
Yeah.
The Palestinian Christians and
Yeah.
Muslims in Israel.
Yeah.
What kind of a society? When people talk about Netanyahu is the product of a society that has completely and utterly shifted, not only to the right, but to the extreme.
I don't disagree with that.
fanatical.
So hold on. So who is that dude? Like,
I don't know.
Is he Iranian though?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's Arab. He's got an
Possibly,
accent.
he's
Yes.
got an accent. So I'm guessing that.
Who is that guy?
I'm sure that if you search it, you'll find.
But is it right? Like, what's the? But look, it is right, isn't it?
Yeah, like. 'cause
Like,
it- 'cause
so,
even,
so I've been to Israel twice, and yeah, there is, look, they appreciate Christians
yeah.
because they bring in a lot of money,
Oh yeah.
you know. So there's a lot
Bassem
of
Youssef.
who was it?
Bassem Youssef.
Bassem Youssef already.
Okay,
I
so
know
he's
who he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
Arab dude. But is he he's Palestinian?
Sounds like it. Could be.
Most likely, I'd say.
Could be. You can just search Bassem Youssef and see.
Oh,
Actually, that's not Bassem
that's
Youssef.
not him.
No, that's not him. Yeah.
So yeah, but then look, yeah, there's an oppression there.
But he's not talking about the Palestine-Israel. He's
Yeah,
identifying another core problem
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in there.
So, okay. But what about when, the pastor gets up and he starts speaking about Israel, promises to Israel? I mean, you read the same Bible I do,
Yeah.
So how do you...
It's a word of truth, right?
Sure it is.
Doesn't matter who it comes from.
Okay.
Could have been an Arab.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who were the Jews back then? Arabs. They're from the Arab
Well,
bloodline.
Middle East, yeah, but, well,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a... Yeah, of course.
If it's a truth, if it's a word of truth
Yes.
coming from even
Yeah.
from my enemy,
Yeah, you'll accept it.
yeah, and this is a truth that's coming from
Yeah.
the place of love. It's not even
Yes.
from my enemies, from the
Yeah. Place of
the
grace.
God that loves you no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yes.
And again, like if someone points out as a word of truth,
Yes.
point out like, I meant
Yeah.
this is what's wrong with you.
So what are you hopeful for, like, with this conflict? And can you
What if-
share what you...
My
shared with
opinion
me?
about this conflict
Yeah.
at the moment. Again,
So the bombs are raining down, right?
they are.
You
Yeah.
want to share what you shared this
Yeah, so bombs are raining down, especially in Tehran. Same thing in Tel Aviv as well. So
Yes.
the difference is method of delivery. They deliver it using the fighter jets.
Yeah.
Iran using ballistic missiles or supersonic missiles
Yes.
that passes through the Iron Dome or any.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm not a politician, right? I'm just speaking as just one Iranian person. I know that there are a lot of my friends from the Christian backgrounds or non-Christian backgrounds, believers or non-believers.
Yes.
They're all Iranians, right?
Yes.
We share that motherland in common.
Yes.
If you ask me where's your home now, I would 100% say Australia is my home. I could get hates of this, but I still have a love for Iran as my motherland.
Yes,
So
of course.
that's
Where you were born, where you were raised.
exactly that's my
Like I
hometown.
said.
That's my home, like
Yeah.
my hometown where I
Yeah.
got raised.
Yeah.
Where I got my
Good
majority of
memories.
my families, even my parents are there.
Yeah.
My cousins, my
Yes.
aunties and extended family.
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I feel more connected to Australia after 17 years. I know
Yeah.
that you lived there 21 years. Yes,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of hardship there.
It was
And
hard. Yeah.
although that there was a bit of a hardship here in Australia as well.
Sure.
it's just for me. I miss Australia when I'm not there. But so this is just one opinion. Sure that different Iranians have different ideas about the conflict at the moment. The conflict at the moment, was it expected? I guess that a lot of people don't. Not nobody, but a lot of people didn't expect it, including me. It was a bit of a shock. Not a bit of it was a lot of shock for a lot of us, because although on the other hand, a lot of people say, of course it was expected. For 46 years, say that, like, again, I agree with them as well. Is that for 46, 47 years, if Iran's government keep pushing this message out, and it's just a message, well, so far it's just a message. It was a message that is just down to Israel, down to America, down to England. It's literally, like, even when we were kids, in those schools, part of our morning routine, as a morning, what do you call it? When you have to stay in lines and go to your classes and all that. Part of that routine was shouting down to USA, down to.
So that was the rhetoric that you had to get.
You
had to recite. Every morning. That was the indoctrination.
Just trying to get into your mind.
Down to the US.
Down to USA, yeah.
Oh.
Down to USA. Oh yeah, like.
So that's like the big Satan too, isn't it?
Oh, they actually called him the big Satan.
The big Satan,
The Ayatollah Khomeini, who was the head of the revolutionary, back in 50 odd years ago.
Yes.
He actually called that. America is the root of all evil. Yeah.
So big Satan and
big
Israel,
Satan.
little Satan.
Sort of. Yeah.
But would you recite that, or would you say that?
No,
but you'd say down to them, or?
Yeah, you just say down. Even down to like down up until recent times. Any Friday prayers that you see in any, because they gather together on Fridays to pray together, right?
Yep.
In every city, there are multiple of them, or they're just major one, and they just pray. At the end of any of them, or at the end of any of the supreme leader.
Did you believe it?
That's really, it's just something you say.
Something you say. And how old are you when you're getting this indoctrination?
From 7, 8 years old till till you're, I don't know, like till you've finished the school.
It's at grade 12 or what?
Yeah. It's part of the routine that you say, like, just.
So what did you say? You may believe.
And you know what was interesting? Like, depends on where you go and what type of ideologies. And what school.
Your school, you would have got it.
Look, it's not only in the schools. It's in every religion program. Imagine that there was a gathering. Is it gatherings, not programs? But they're gatherings, right? No. Like in mosques or in a lot of places that you go to, right? Especially when there's a religious person talking, at the end of it, especially when they get excited,
down to America.
They usually they usually say, and I'm sure that I can find a lot of videos of this for you. It shouldn't take that. It shouldn't be that hard. It's basically they say that Allahu Akbar, which means God is great. It's not. It doesn't mean that death to anyone. I know that if you shout it in Queenie Street, it's probably gonna people are gonna run away in a direction. But
get out of there! But you'll get a reaction, bro.
Oh, you will. For sure. But all you're just shouting is God is great. Don't you agree with that? God is great.
It is absolutely great. But
you just don't shout it in that language. That's all. Literally, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
So
for sure, man.
Imagine that how hard time the Arab Christians have.
Yeah.
Because you know that when you go to the Fortune Valley, you always find one of these evangelistic people that say like, God loves you, God is great. Like if you're in the Middle East, people are just gonna run away because like the guys like saying God loves you, Allahu Akbar is like. No, it's just that the word of God in Islam in Arabic language is Allah. And that's the same word that actually Jesus was saying when he was on the cross. Because
Yeah.
what language was Jesus was
It
talking?
was Hebrew.
No,
Yeah.
Aramaic.
Aramaic. Well,
No,
yeah.
Aramaic. Ask GPT. Ask Google. Aramaic, and you can
Yeah.
search
Sure, it's
God
Aramaic.
in Aramaic.
Yeah, it's Allah.
Allah. It is Allah.
Yeah.
There you go. Aramaic.
Yeah, Jesus spoke Aramaic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Eli. Yeah.
Yeah, Eli.
Yeah. So
And Abba, obviously, yeah.
yeah. So they
which is
usually
dad.
start with those chantings
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
God is great, God is great, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
Yeah.
And then they say like down to USA, down to USA,
Yeah.
down to
Yeah.
to Israel, down.
Yeah.
And then they depends on what sort of gathering it is or how much time do they have.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they used to say like down to UK, down to France, whatever.
And, what, did Australia ever get a mention?
No.
Oh man, why not? I mean, what?
Yeah.
we,
Nobody has a beef with kangaroos, mate. Nobody has a beef with kangaroos.
And we haven't even got a military
But even,
that
like-
would be worth you saying down to. Yeah,
But
it's just,
it's interesting. Like the chant was continuing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because back then Saddam Hussein was alive, right?
Yeah.
He was ruling Iraq. So
Yeah.
toward the end of it, it was like they were saying, like we were chanting that down to this country,
Yeah.
down to that country, down to Germany, all these
Yeah.
ones, and then to the end, and down to Saddam. So
Saddam,
obviously after the
yeah.
time that it's changed and
Yeah, it's
Saddam is
changed.
not like nobody
So
chants
it's
that.
rhetoric that just kept going, and but it gets in, doesn't it?
It does.
It's just that's indoctrination, and indoctrination works.
To a certain level, it does.
Eventually you
I
just
guess
get
that with the, especially with the
hardened to it.
with
That's
the
it.
Gen Z and this new generation, it bounces back. It doesn't even make
Now,
a dent.
Well, right. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So you're still in your 30s. What about guys
Towards the
that are-
end of it, though. Yeah.
Towards the end of it, baby, you're starting to get a brain now.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's insulting.
It's over 35. You got so you're I guess still millennial, aren't you?
Guessing I've never associated myself with those terms, but yeah.
Yeah. But
And I actually
what do
never
you
looked
do
up.
as a millennial? Gen Z in Iran.
They because of
What are they doing?
because of technology and because of the telecommunication,
But isn't it shut
they're
down?
so much more connected to the world, especially the Western world.
But how do they? Aren't they shut down?
Not
Aren't
always.
they blocked?
There are a lot of censorship. So
Jump
there's
on an Onion server or do something and then get out.
yeah, like
Yeah.
when it comes to it's
Yeah.
just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Government tries to censor and block
Yeah.
certain platforms. For example,
People
Instagram
go work around.
is banned. They
Yeah.
just work around it. It's
Work
just
around.
that, mate, I'll get access to that.
Yeah.
But
Everyone
it's just
else-
making me like work
Work a
one
bit
step
harder.
harder, right?
Yeah.
And the downside of that is
Yeah.
that imagine that if these websites, like even down, this is the scary part of
Yeah.
when the government systematically censors a lot of
creates
these.
doubt in the government. Man.
No, what it happens is that even kids, I'm talking about 7, 8-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Now they know how to use
Oh, yeah.
VPNs to get around, right?
Yeah. Get around it.
Yeah.
They're smart.
The problem
Savvy.
is that the websites that hypothetically they're supposedly should be banned.
Yeah.
For example, pornographic websites,
Yeah,
right?
they can find it.
Now that you force a generation to
Yes.
find a way to break that,
Dude,
and then
that's-
they just break.
They
like-
can break it. Break
and
it.
then now you unintentionally with
Kids.
just a stupidity you just
expose them to all this dodgy stuff.
exactly.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
No, that's
Because I'm in the local school and we're mentoring. We've got a mentoring program there, and they shut that stuff down. If a kid just all of a sudden
opens a
stumbles
URL.
on an
Yeah.
OnlyFans or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, bang,
Bang.
comes up in the firewall. So yeah, if you're actually really
Imagine if I'm a parent and I
training
really
kids, you're training kids
you're training kids to
to-
how to get away with these
in
things.
subversion to get around the firewalls.
Yeah.
Wow.
See that how
That's
like
at a very
by
young age.
claim, I know that
Yeah.
a lot of people agree that kids should not be. I don't,
It's
but
interesting.
I don't. But I know that a lot of people agree that TikTok. Well, I do agree that TikTok is is demolishing the new generation.
It's just mindless.
Yeah, it's mindless scrolling. Instagram as well. I'm not against social media,
look, that's right.
but it needs to come with a bit of a responsibility and all that.
Yeah,
right?
but that's down to parents, isn't it? So
That's down to parents as well.
You can
now,
legislate against it, but look,
now when you're
forced to.
forced, even the parents, a lot of parents, they say like, hey, and they go to the kids like, how do you activate this anti-filter for the government? And then if the kid knows it,
you're done, mate.
You're done.
Put.
Like they have access to everything.
See you later.
So they created a kind of like a mentality that there is nothing.
So that creates doubt in the government, and
billions of dollars
questions.
of costs to do this. Well, it costs civilians.
So what do you believe? The government is selling me this.
They don't, and that's why a lot of people in.
So these guys are just alpha generation.
A lot of people
whatever you call them.
a lot of people in Iran, and a lot of people that are out of Iran, they're kind of tired of this word of God, the word of God.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I've been told, and my life was sold and sacrificed for this G word.
Yeah.
Whether it's an A word, Allah, or G is God.
How do
it's
they?
been sacrificed.
What do they think of? Well, the word would be Isa, wouldn't it? Jesus.
Isa,
so what do they think of Isa?
They would probably say like, he was a prophet of God, or they were like,
this young generation,
like if you go on a street and he's like, who was Isa?
Anger toward the younger generation.
Yeah, they would say like, oh, Isa, he was a prophet of God. It's exactly like asking them who was Abraham. Oh, prophet of God.
Prophet, yeah.
But they don't think
about it.
Yeah, that's it. Who was Abraham? Yeah,
that's it. Because there's a big underground church over there.
Not that I know of, but I'm sure that you know more about it.
Well, I've heard that there are.
Doesn't surprise me. There
in Iran,
when we have
huge.
When we have a lot of damaging cults there, a legitimate religion will find its way.
Actually, just check that out. Let's do that. So, underground church in Iran.
Muslim background believers, evangelical Pentecostal style Christians.
But are they?
House church networks led by lay leaders. Many are independent, foreign-based ministries.
There are some satellite TVs, that's correct. There are some satellite TVs that they're preaching this in
Persian.
So that kind of creates this network. One of them was Mohabbat TV. I was watching one of the, I think his name was Sasan. I think he's either in America or some of the people that are actually participating in that Mohabbat TV. Mohabbat means like kindness, love.
And it was Christian. Like
it is Christian, yeah.
Like biblically Christian,
not
just in name Christian.
No, not actually Christian. I was watching, I think his name was Sasan Tabakoli, but I'm not sure. And a couple of other people that they run churches around the world, outside of Iran, and they also produce these videos,
right?
Like podcasts, like Sacred Minds style.
Yes, yeah.
And they broadcast it on these satellite TVs, as like the one that I watched were on YouTube, but I know that they broadcasted them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, and apparently it's healthy. It's good because like that stuff you're talking about, that suppression. It's like you suppress, people are going to question.
Yeah.
They always are.
Yeah.
It's like no, I can see this is a lie.
I'll give you a good example.
I can see it's a lie.
Suppression never works for anything.
It doesn't, man.
Even for drugs, it doesn't work. That's my opinion. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Put a bench outside or even here.
Yeah.
And paint it. Now put a sign: wet paint, don't touch it.
Yeah.
I guarantee the number of people come and touch it. It's like, is it actually wet? It's more. You know why? Because you're actively trying to prevent people.
Yeah, that's right.
It's because the people are like, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
They're probably not going to sit on it, but they're still going to test it. They're still questioning what they've been told.
That's so true, man. It's just an inquisitive mind. It's just how we're wired, I think.
All humans.
All humans are wired that way.
I'll give you another example.
You know.
With kids.
Yeah.
With kids. If you want to get them, it's like, come here, I want to show you something. Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Yeah.
I'm not going to show you. They walk towards you. You prevent
it.
They prevent it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
No.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, I want to see it.
Yeah, give it. No,
They-
only certain people.
No. It's like, come on, what's in it? It's like, you prevent them, you provoke them.
It's true.
The same, I believe that it's exactly the same thing with a lot of, even evil stuff. If people can see the actual truth about it,
Yeah.
if you,
Yeah.
porn or or drugs,
Yep, that's right.
they are a work of evil.
Yep. You've got to talk about it. You've got to, and look, we did that with our kids, especially boys, right? You have to. It's like, okay, here it is. This is, not that you show, but you say, okay, we know you're going to be exposed to this stuff. We know. So the first sex education lesson we gave our boys came from us. It was, my wife and I.
Was there a banana included?
Well, actual picture. So and it was like, oh, okay. There was nothing perverted about it.
Yeah.
Nothing gross. Nothing. It was like, oh, okay. It was like just learning maths, or like geography or a bit of history. It's like, oh, if you
It's
get
like
kids
1 plus
early,
1. In this
really
case,
is.
it's going to be 3. But yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it wasn't, and it's like when they went to school and they heard this stuff. It's like, no, that's not true. I know how it is, and that they actually instructed the kids that, and so when there's porn involved, because they're going to get it at school. You're just going to get it. It's as simple as that. They already know. They've already been told. They already get it. They already know. And so that it's like, well, this is what it is.
It is what it is.
There's no, there's none of that. It's like, this is it. It can be dangerous, but create a culture and an environment for communication. Otherwise, they won't. And love and grace.
Yeah.
If that's not there, it's like you are, like you've just said, you are virtually guaranteeing that they're going to go in for that stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Whether it's drugs, pornography, ideology, belief system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to your previous question about what I think about the current situation in Iran.
Yes.
Again, did many people expect it to happen? I don't think so. I don't think that's why it was shocking.
So what about since Obama? Like he's basically said, yep, you can have an enrichment program because power, all of that.
Yeah.
So you get Trump in, and he said, okay, they're enriching. They're going to get an atomic bomb. We don't want them to have an atomic bomb because they hate the West, the big Satan. They hate the little Satan, Israel. And they basically said, have they not?
What have they said?
That we hate these countries.
They always say that, yeah. As I said, like it was forced down to us. That's when the conversation went sideways when I was talking about it.
Yeah.
It was even enforced down to the kids as well, to say down to this, down to that. But there's
so surely there's a real danger.
No, would it?
I don't know.
This is a thing. Like that's why, as an Iranian, I've never been so conflicted to be either happy or sad about something.
Okay, let's explore that.
Reality is that when we talk about the enrichment program, right?
Yeah.
Iran, again, there are different views on it. I'm not defending any side of it. Again, like let me put it out there, first, and then we can drill down. In this specific case of what is happening between Israel and Iran as a country, I have to clarify this, as well as Netanyahu said, again, like we'll get back to that, like he's saying, what he says is always contradict what his actions are. But reality, and what I want my Western friends as well as an audience understand is that Iran's people and Iran's government are two different entities.
Yeah.
Because there is a massive gap of democracy.
Yes.
There's a facade democracy on the front, right? But when you look deep in it, there is no democracy.
It's a dictatorship.
It is a dictatorship, in my opinion.
Oh,
Is that
I think by most
Yeah.
declarative, parameters.
because of that,
it's a
these actions have been taken against Iran's government. That's why in the first day and the couple of nights after that, the main target. I'm not saying that they only hit those targets, but the main target was the military people.
Yeah.
What surprises me is that if Israel, as it says, want to cut the head of a snake in the region, bro, you hit every part of that snake but head. So there's something going on, and you know that Trump has pulled a pin on it. Whether how much Netanyahu listens and will give a shit about about the
well, the reality is, I mean, I think if
if you really wanted to give an S about what Trump does and what, you would not attack a country that is in the peace negotiation with America. Literally, they're in the middle of negotiation for the last 2 months.
Iran and America.
About a lot of things, including their nuclear and missile program.
But maybe there's intel there.
No. Let me make it clear.
Yeah.
From the beginning of these negotiations,
Yeah.
Israel said, "I'm not happy that America is negotiating. I'm not happy that America is negotiating. They should negotiate. Then they should more focus on their nuclear power and all that." This is historical facts. I believe that it did not matter whether America got to an agreement or did not end up in agreement with Iran. Israel still would have attacked. And I'll give you another example as well. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, the latest things that kind of like as a battle in these not a battle, but just back and forth conversations that happened during these negotiations triggered them." Not really, because the attack in Iran started with like the first phase of attack happened within Iran. Within the borders of it. Iran had air defense systems and all that. How great they are or how they're not great, that's something for questions. But for months, and I'm talking about almost about a year, if not more, Israel was sending its commandos into Iran.
Yeah.
And they were sending drones into Iran to the point that if you look up,
well, they infiltrated as well.
No, you will see that during these attacks, there was a title in the news that Israel had drone base in Iran, in Tehran.
Yeah, they infiltrated.
Yeah. So this is something that this is not something that happens within a week or two or 2 months.
Someone said up to a decade.
The military practices and all that have been planned since then.
Yes.
But this drone attacks and all that, and they because of the air defense systems that have been designed for long range, right?
Yes.
So, these attacks were such a short range that it was not even in their capability of attacking or intercepting anything like that. They've disabled these defense systems.
Yes.
And then as they call it, Iran's airway, like airspace, is now became a highway for Israeli jets to come in and go and hit it with missiles.
Yes.
So the intention was well established before these things.
Absolutely.
Back to your question about it is a real threat. No, it's not. How many times I can come at your door? Not that I would, but imagine it like I'll live across the street from you. Every morning that I see you, I see F you.
Yeah.
Every morning you're driving up, F you, Jay. And I get my kids and force them to stand at the porch with me every morning.
Yeah.
Refugees! F you and your family.
Yeah.
And that's what
The
we do.
indoctrination. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah.
Dad, why do we hate Jay? He's a
We had people with
He's
bald
a-
heads.
yeah, he's a he's a special kind of head. So
You got hair. He
Yeah.
hasn't. We hate him.
yeah, like we hate him.
Yeah.
We hate him. Why? Because of we really wanted, like, for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because his father years ago
Yeah,
hit my
whatever it was.
father, and that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But the grandfather is still okay, and he died of the lung cancer. Yeah, I told you, he hit him in the car, and then. But every day, imagine for
Yeah.
20 years, I get up and the kids grow, and they be saying like, "F you, Jay," coming back home from your work, "F you."
Yeah.
Well, would you do anything about it? Would you come and shoot me in the face?
No.
No,
but-
you wouldn't.
No, but I guess it's not just the FU. It's like, okay, now we're saying FU, but we're getting some guns as well.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
It's not only FU, but it's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
enriching you, because you remember you were on the other side of the street, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I give guns to your neighbors to start annoying you,
Yeah.
and I do agree with that side of story of Israel.
And I think that's what they've done. Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's just about the neighbors and who does what in the neighborhood,
Oh yeah, there's always hatred or saying this.
exactly. And then like
But
the
when
US
you-
always had
when
base
you
around
start
Iran.
gunning up, like when you start getting, so that's the thing.
But
It's
again,
like
that's why they call them proxies, like Houthis as well. Like
well, they're
go
doing-
and deal with them directly if you can.
Well, they're trying to. I think
Yeah.
they're dealing with them.
Yeah, same.
Gaza, obviously, in Lebanon.
And again, but just disclaimer. By no mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not whitewashing what
Yeah, sure.
what Iran's
course not.
regime
Of
and the
course
government is doing is
I mean,
right.
That's what.
I'm
made
just
the question to start with.
Yeah, no, just standing against one idiocracy on one side does not mean that this side is right. Not at all. From the get go, I said that they're both pure evil. Choosing a side from me, it's not going to happen. If you see me under each
Yeah.
side
Yeah.
at this state of war,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. I would not choose a side. Pure evil from both sides. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of interesting questions for me.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
nuclear power, right?
Yeah.
Iran for many, many years. I know that there are some incidents that they did not comply, but during the Obama's time, right? They accepted the international audits.
Yeah.
Come and have a look at our power plants. Yes, it seems that it happened that in the
Shut
background they were doing something secretly, but nothing flourished, nothing fruited from that, right? Because come on, how hard is it? Even Pakistan has it. India has
That's
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. For God's sake, if you really want to, Russia has our neighbors have it.
Yeah.
And how hard is it to do it?
Some tough ones as well.
Yeah,
You know,
and
mate, Pakistan having a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, but so do you agree that Pakistan has a nuclear power?
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
why
they
no
have
one has?
nuclear power.
But why no one has a go at him?
Yeah.
Why no one has a go at him?
Well, are they saying death
Because they're Muslim in this Islamic country.
Oh, they definitely are.
There are Sunnis that in
Yeah,
some cases
that's it.
Sunnis are more radical.
Are they? But they've got more issue. They're focused more on Kashmir and India and having that. That border issue.
But why none of these countries have anything?
I guess it's locality as well, and they're not saying "fu."
That's it.
Yeah.
They just don't vocalize it.
They don't.
Because
They, but
you know what?
You've got to do something with the vocalizing, can't you?
Yeah.
Don't you have to do something? I mean,
No, silence them with your success.
yeah, but when they're starting to say, okay, look,
They did
arming
something,
up as well as saying,
and
have
then
ignored them.
they always threatened. I do agree that
Yeah.
with a threat that they always said that
Yeah.
I can't remember who said that, but I think it was one of the Iran's presidents.
Yeah.
Again, they do not represent the actual society, but they call
Yeah.
them presidents. Said that Israel is a stain on the map that should be cleaned off of the map.
Yeah.
When you hear these things, yes, you can speculate, but these speculations have been going on for more than, like, if you watch news
Yeah.
from 25 years ago,
Yeah. Well,
you would hear this is interesting. You would hear from Netanyahu that Iran is 2 years away from nuclear power. Iran is Bro, how long is that? It's been more than 2 decades that you're telling me that Iran is going to have nuclear bomb in the next 3 years.
But they are actually close. And
why do you? This is the narrative. That's what I was saying behind the camera.
Yeah.
That the most valuable
yeah.
currency in that region of Middle East is not oil, it's not guns, it's the narrative.
Yeah.
How can you control the narrative?
But they are locked in with a very strong nuclear power.
Yeah.
And
which
so you've got
which I do agree that is not suitable for anything peaceful. I know that.
So you've got Russia that are obviously locked in their own conflict with Ukraine, and they're getting all these drones from Iran.
Yeah.
So
apparently, when I say apparently, when I say apparently, it's because Iran keeps denying that, but we know actually it happens. Yeah.
Of course. Come on.
Yeah.
They
Goes through shell companies. And
through shell companies and the technology is
shell
Iranian.
drones. Yeah. And they've traced them back. I think, you know, numbers, serial numbers, and so they're locked in with a nuclear power that could easily give them technology, and so they have that. All they've got to do is enrich it. So Obama gave them that sanction really to do it. So it's only now that they're actually saying, no, we don't want you to come and do those audits. So they shut those down. So it's like, well, what do? You know, we can handle the FUs. We've had that for 50 years.
Because for a while, when they actually shut down their high level enrichments,
the audits,
and then they complied with the audits. What happened is that Trump came and said, you know what, F that. That was Obama's time. So I gave my faith to your work. And then now you just flip the table. Why should I listen to you anymore?
Well, you know, Trump's doing that to the world. It's not just Iran. He's doing that to us with steel.
But that's their logic. That's their logic. I'm not saying that it's a good logic. That's the logic.
That's the logic. Yeah.
But you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
Between Iran and Israel, Israel never submitted to NPT. Israel never ever agreed to international audits.
But they've been so locked in.
No, how did what?
But
these are just the questions. Why is it different? How a non-compliant country is accusing a somewhat compliant country to be?
But you know why?
Just because of the vocality of FUs and
No, it's more than that. It's they've been locked in with America since.
What do you mean by locked in?
So, America has really sponsored, and supported them militarily
all the way.
So when I was in the.
But how are they locked in?
Well, giving them arms.
Oh yeah, but they can use their nukes if they want to.
Yeah. So since just after the Second World War, they've sponsored them with
every way that they possibly could.
So it's been almost 80 years.
Yeah.
You know, that Israel has had a nuclear capability.
Yeah.
I was over there. When was it? 2014, and we went to this refugee camp, and we had all these Americans with us. And so this was in, the West Bank, so refugee camp in Bethlehem. And we went in there, and it's full of displaced Palestinians from the 1947-48 war, and their children and grandchildren. And they've still got keys from their houses.
From their houses, yeah.
That's why there's
one day I will return,
One day, well, there's no returning, is there? Not a chance. I mean, the house is gone. But they've got this massive key above the refugee camps. Yeah. It's there. We will return, and that's the. But we had these Americans that were with us, and they were saying, "Oh, this is terrible," and all the rest of it. And then the guy that was taking us through, lovely dude who was part of the camp there, he said, you Americans wouldn't sponsor, the suppression of our people. Oh no, definitely not. And he got one of the kids to pick up a canister, like, the tear gas canister,
Yeah.
and brought it over, and
Made in USA.
made in the USA. I think it was Pennsylvania or somewhere, and there's this canister, and these people were shocked. Wow, this couldn't be.
That's the reality.
They've been locked in there, supplying, supporting. It's money, and
it's money.
they've been
And
given.
that's one of the things I don't understand is like
So-
why do they feel responsible for that? It's at the end of the day it's their money that they're giving to Jews. But
Absolutely they are. And so for us, we want to support Israel out through the covenant. So the covenant that was given to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, or Israel.
Yeah.
How do you support them? Through the covenant that he gives through Yeshua, through Christ. Jesus basically said, with the sword, you live by the sword, you die by it. That's how it's going to be. Even when the disciples said, "Oh, here's a couple of swords," because he said, I said, no money bags, no money. This time, take up a sword. He didn't mean, go out and start killing people, because when Peter starts cutting off Malchus's ear in the garden, they immediately wanted to pick up a sword. Right, this is it.
This is it.
This is it. We're going to take the Romans out. We're going to start. This is it, Jesus. We're going to, you're going to start this regime. It's going to be fantastic. Put your sword down. What are you doing? And he heals his ear. You want to bless Israel, bless them with the gospel. And so that's why we support.
That's why there's such a lost society.
Yeah, and so the military might is, I know they've got to defend themselves.
Every country has to.
Every country. But basically what they're doing with Iran now is getting rid of any military. So what do you do with that? It's like, I guess you're allowed to carry your machine guns for internal, but what's keeping
guns
you
are not allowed in Iran, so if you carry
guns aren't.
No, not for civilians. Not for civilians.
Well,
It's like Australia.
Australia, really?
Yeah, it's like Australia.
Well, we're allowed to get guns so long as they're registered.
We don't even have that in Iran. You're
Is
not
that-
allowed to have guns, unless that you are actually somebody like a military person. That's a very different story.
Wow, so you can't say, look, I'm going to the gun range, or I want to shoot a few roos.
No.
I want to take
there's
out
a very, very specific rule
okay.
that I'm talking
Feral pigs or goats or something.
The hunting guns are different. Their
Is it?
calibers are very small. They're purely for
Rabbits,
or even like goose or something like that.
a goose,
Or Giselle or something like that, right?
a gazelle.
Yeah.
But you need a decent caliber for that.
But they're bolt action.
Bolt action.
And
So it's safe.
so you can't.
So you can't
you
can't get a semi-automatic.
No, you can't even have semi-automatic in Australia either. Even if it's registered, you can't have.
No, but you can. That's what I mean. You can get a gun license.
No, so but you can't. In Australia, you can register for hand pistol, right? You have to go through a lot of hoops, but you can do it.
You can.
There's no way that that
In
gets
Iran,
allowed.
you can't. You can't have a weapon.
No, as a matter of
Handgun.
fact, this is interesting. If you carry a weapon, as they call them, warm weapon.
Yeah, weapon. Yeah.
So not knife or anything like that.
Yeah.
In public, it has. If it doesn't have a capital punishment, it has a severe punishment.
Consequences.
Yeah, consequences.
Wow.
If you go for robbery with the warm weapon, it's capital punishment.
Yeah, wow.
Even if you don't steal anything,
Don't
even if you
kill
just go to the jewelry, break their glasses, you hear the siren, you're
done.
out, and police captures you with the gun in your hand.
You're dead.
Done.
Capital punishment, you die.
You're done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah. Oh, they don't shoot you on the spot, but yeah.
No, but you're dying.
Yeah.
Capital punishment.
Yeah.
Wow.
The guns because
Hey, isn't that opposite to, say, America,
it is.
where you really should have a gun?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and some like Texas, isn't it? Is it illegal not to? Like
I don't know.
You gotta have one. You pretty much got to.
I'm not a huge fan of them. I'm not a huge
No,
fan.
no,
Not Texans. Sorry, I'm not a huge fan of
Shit,
guns. But
It's
I
just
understand
nuts. Oh
Yeah.
man. Let's
one of-
play these.
One of the things that I wanted to show you,
Yeah.
in the audience, is when it comes to this conflict. Yes, you're right. At the moment, they're targeting. It seems that they're targeting
Yeah.
purely
Military sites.
military sites.
Yeah.
But
But
we'll
the
get to that.
Iranians are not in Tel
Are-
Aviv.
But and a lot of high-ranking commanders of Islamic Republic Guard of Commands or something like that, IRGC, right?
And nuclear scientists.
And nuclear scientists, nuclear scientists, anyone who's involved with that, right?
Yeah,
This is the problem.
yeah.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
and some military sites, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people actually don't know where they're living close to. They have no idea that my
Yeah,
neighbor
dude.
is
Part of the regime that's a nuclear.
a nuclear scientist. They just think that
scientist or
they think that
working on a warhead.
Best case scenario, they think that he's a university professor.
Yeah.
One of the guys that was killed, and I'm not saying that it was like why Israel killed that.
Yeah.
He was the head of imagine in the equivalent would be
Yes.
head of UQ University.
Yeah.
Head of the UQ, like the UQ is getting
So
governed.
it wasn't.
But he was
just
specifically, but he was physic and nuclear
physicist.
physicist. Yeah,
Yes.
and he was the head of university as well. The best case scenario, you would be so proud that I'm living next to the head of such and such university, right?
Then he's taken out.
It's boom,
Yep, gone.
and then there's a good chance that yes, they are controlled and designated,
They're
targeted.
They are
Yeah,
targeted.
because there were
Videos of showing.
targeted
Mate,
as well.
they just go like
But still, there's a blast.
attack
And they-
me out, and you'd be okay.
No, that's not the case.
No.
No. This is what media wants you to believe. This is what they want you to believe, that if
In a
they
room.
hit you, you'll be fine and you'll be dead and I'm gone. Bro, that's not how it works. It's an explosion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true.
The sixth level goes if they attack the
Innocents
fifth-
get killed.
innocents do
Yeah.
get killed.
Yeah.
Now back on that one,
Yeah.
a lot of people were saying like, oh, why Israel's doing that?
Yeah.
To kind of justify that.
Yeah.
Killing innocent people has no justification. But to explain it a bit, for people to understand it a bit, but it's both sides. It's still not acceptable.
Yes.
But for the last 40-something years,
Yeah.
Iran's regime
Yeah.
was killing its own people in one day or in a week. Again, like these numbers are all over the place. They're not 100% reliable, but the figures are
horrific.
semi-accurate. In every time that there was people protesting,
Yeah.
there were hundreds of people dying. So that you're talking about the government, that it kills its
Killing
own
their
people.
own people.
That's why if you see
Oh, no.
any Iranian that is rejoicing from this attack, they're not rejoicing the attack on Iran. No one likes.
Rejoicing that.
No one's happy. I'm not happy that
No.
the country is invaded by another country.
Of course not.
Right?
But it's just that regime.
But
I
but
hate
those
them.
people that they were responsible for years for the death of
My
not only
family.
Iranians, for the
Yeah.
people that in Tel Aviv, for the
Yes.
people that in Gaza,
Yeah.
the people that in Lebanon.
Yeah.
If these peoples with these ideologies and enforcing them down to other regions, if there's not people in power,
Yeah.
there's a good chance that a lot of people on every side of this world were alive.
Yeah.
So it gets to that moral challenge that does the number of the people justify it? You know that cart on the road, cart on the rail. If you have the control, there are 4 people on this rail and
Yeah.
one person. Would you switch it to go to
Yeah.
hit that one person to save 4 people?
Well, that's it.
Anyone can answer that in their own conscience.
Of course.
But I'm just saying that why some people are rejoicing, but at the same time, a lot of people are moaning
Yeah.
because
They know those people that have died.
not necessarily being in contact. I'm talking about the civilians. I'm talking
Yeah,
about the innocent
yeah.
civilians
Yeah.
that they
They've
died,
killed
right?
them. And so, yeah, they wouldn't be rejoicing.
They wouldn't, and
They're
that's
not.
why part of the country is
rejoicing, not rejoicing.
and part of the country is mourning.
Oh, that's
the
conflict.
main concern when it comes to these type of attacks, especially when it comes to Netanyahu and Israel, the type of attacks that they do.
Yes.
Is the video that I want to show you.
Let's play
is
it.
that their words are always against their actions. They they always say that we care about human.
So let's give the background. So this is Netanyahu.
Yeah.
And what's the background? Tell me.
So every time that they were going to invade or attack, let's not say invade, but they were going to attack or they were in fight with another one of these, Lebanon, Syria.
Okay. So Israel,
Palestine.
whenever they attacked,
Netanyahu always gets on their media and delivers a message the same way that is over and over his message delivering a message to people of Iran.
So Netanyahu will get on the local state media of the people that he's about to bomb. So
not necessarily on the like a broadcast channels, on their official like Twitter accounts.
Oh, so on their social media.
Yeah.
He'll get on there to Lebanon, Syria,
And
Gaza,
Iran, yep.
and in this case, Iran.
Yep.
And is that Farsi?
That's Farsi, yeah.
All right, so
just a disclaimer
Farsi to people. Just explain it because they don't know.
It's a language.
So it's the
language,
national language.
It's a national language of Iran,
of Iran.
And a lot of not a lot, but some countries around us as well.
Okay.
It's the way that it's been written is very, very similar to Arabic,
Right.
but imagine that you're looking at the French writing. You use the same Roman letters,
Yes.
but you wouldn't understand what they've written,
Yes.
or in German, right? Like
Yeah.
you all use the same.
It's Middle East.
Yeah. So this is the Persian language. I downloaded it from one of the I'm guessing Iran's sponsored social media
So
channels.
this is propaganda, you would say.
No, I wouldn't call it propaganda. I would call it another perspective on how every time that he said that we're looking for peace, something else happened. I personally would never put Netanyahu and peace in the same sentence. It's an oxymoron. It's for me, Netanyahu talking about peace in anywhere in that region is me hearing Satan say that I believe in Jesus.
Okay, well, we've got a lot to talk about. All right, you want to show it up?
I want to address you, the people of Iran. I want to use this opportunity to speak to the people of Gaza. We want you to be safe.
That's their safe.
Yeah, they're safe.
This is a message to the people of Lebanon. You can now take back your country. You can return it to a path of peace and prosperity.
Peace. He says like we don't want to have anything to do with
The tyranny
Syria.
in Damascus offers great opportunity. I want to address you, the people of Iran. Today I'm going to make an unprecedented offer to Iran. It relates to water. Address the people of Iran. Zad, Zandagi, Azadi. The people of Iran should know Israel stands with you. May we together know a future of prosperity and peace.
Okay, so
I would love to see that happen. I would love to see the people of, as it used to be called, Persia, rejoice with the people of Israel, because even it's been mentioned in Bible as well.
Yes, of course.
But through this guy, never.
So
It never happened.
you don't believe he's being genuine when he's
No.
saying, "I want to speak to the people of Lebanon or
No,
Gaza"?
it's not genuine.
I mean,
No, I would have been very stupid
Gaza is
if I
been
think
bad.
that the prosperity or the peace or freedom and to my country or any other country is or will be delivered by another country. Why would they? Why would they spend their taxpayers' money to deliver freedom to my country? What's in it for them? Nothing.
I think he's trying to make them see that it's not about oppressing you, it's about this regime.
Yeah, he can. What he's saying that is like
It's like Hamas.
We're separating you and that. But
Yeah.
what in real world, and that's what is showing. Because what he's saying is, yes, it's that. It's like
But you
people
don't agree with that.
um,
You don't think he's trying to get rid of the regime?
after a point. This is the first episode. We might have another
Yes.
chat
Yes.
another time.
Yeah.
God forbid if it happens, if it goes on for a year, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna be his next excuse? Oh, the people, they're still attacking us.
Do you think?
But bro,
that-
you haven't got rid of the nuclear power and the top commanders. How
Yeah.
long are you gonna keep pushing for this? Because you can use that excuse, and he said like, no, you're still not done. I'm still not done because you still don't give up.
Yeah.
So at what point you're gonna give up? Especially with, again, like when a country, when like Iran was in the negotiation to whether, that was one of the possibilities that Iran pushed back couple of times, but it was not completely off the table. Again, at least in theory. In practice, they pushed hard on it back. But Iran was one of the terms of agreement between Iran and America was that you have to completely give up your nuclear program.
Yeah.
And they over and over Iran said no.
That's
But
right.
the negotiation was still going on. As a matter of fact, Trump was saying like, I still hope that they come back to the negotiation and accept a deal.
Well,
You
either
see,
way, whether they accepted to negotiate or not, they weren't going to get a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, but
That's the reality.
But how far is he going to take it before, in his actions, he's separating people of Iran from the government of Iran?
Yes.
I think that
Yeah.
with and
So you're talking about Netanyahu? Or,
yeah, and
Look,
look,
yeah.
by saying that he's an evil, I'm not saying that Ayatollah Khamenei is the God sent.
He's
Not at all.
No.
Well,
He's evil.
It boils down to this, Jay.
Yeah.
This war is not the war. It's not the war that the people of Israel or people of Iran opted into. Really,
Yeah.
I would say even
But would you say that?
that this is not their war. It's a war
No.
between one extremist that wants to keep pushing on his idiocracy,
Yeah.
and the other one that is using that idiocracy to justify an attack on these
Yeah.
people. And that's it.
Yeah. It's another conversation.
It's another conversation.
But I would, well, just with this, Hamas and Gaza, obviously, that's different.
That's different. For me, that's different.
Because they were throwing rockets and
Yes,
they came over and killed 1,200 people.
that
Iran-
still doesn't justify the level of destruction that
Sure,
Israel
but,
did.
but Iran sponsored.
Yes, and and
Yeah.
for that I hold Iran's government responsible for the death of those people as well.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
From both sides, I mourn for both sides.
Yeah.
Any soul lost
Yeah, it's a grief.
in a war
Oh,
is a grief.
yeah, absolutely grief.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, this is not the war of these people. I guarantee.
Yeah.
I guarantee in a vacuum, if you take out Ayatollah and his fellows out,
yeah,
just beam them up to
yeah,
to another dimension.
yeah,
Take out people like Netanyahu or the war hogs like him
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Open the border. They will not have any problem like that. People
you think,
will.
you think that would be the answer? To open the borders?
No. I mean, like, even if you open the borders, like, even if the borders are closed as well, I'm saying like, if these extremists are not in power,
Yeah,
you just vacuum them out,
yes.
and then voila, countries just run, right? Like run the country as normal.
Yeah, I don't know.
You-
It's hard because you feel there's a leadership vacuum then, and so it's like if you get rid of Vladimir Putin,
Put it democratic.
yeah, but,
And you can argue that Netanyahu is a democratic.
well, he's voted. He, at least
But
there.
you know that in his country,
Yeah.
he's actually he's under heavy investigation
he is,
by
absolutely.
the jurisdiction
Yeah.
by the justice system.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that, again, like this is one of the theories, one of the reasons that he keeps going from Palestine to Lebanon to Syria to Iran is that keep going the war on, keep the war going on. Why? Because as long as we're in war,
They get investigated.
they don't investigate it. I'm still in power and they don't invest. The moment that he steps down, then they're going to come after him.
Yeah, but it still is a democracy, and he barely made it last time. So he's got a. It's a
But
bit
then
like,
with these achievements, and I'm not undermining his achievement, like the Israel Defense Force achievements, executing that kind of attack is one of a kind.
But what do you do with these guys, man? It's hard because
And they're hard-headed, and their hearts are hard as well.
Yeah.
The reality is that none of them are going to listen to the word of Lord. That just love each other.
they're not going to do it. But what do you do with Gaza? I mean, look, those guys, they've still got hostages. Why don't they just give them up? You've got Gazans now that are saying, mate, give these up. We're dying. We're getting bombed. Just give them up.
Imagine that what happens to, like, what should have happened to a country or the people.
Yeah.
For example, I'll start from Iran. Just fathom that what has happened to the people of a certain country, that when their country gets attacked by another country, part of their society goes happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what kind of suppression have they been under?
Yeah.
That they
Yes.
do. Certain of them believe that the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Certain number of them say like the enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend,
Well, that's true.
but they're still rejoicing that the suppressors are gone, or at least their suppressors are getting some sort of justice. With Gaza, one of the problems is that imagine what sort of life have they been under, that dying because of the famine and all that. They still want to keep these hostages and not forcing this Hamas people or Hezbollah to give them back. They say like keep going. I'm not saying that they're necessarily chosen by those people, but
why do that?
there's a history. There's a history.
Yeah, I know.
Just there's that history. I'll give you an example. My wife went to check on one of the her patients today, and this is, by the way, like when for retelling this story, I'm not saying that I do agree with it. It's just that it was just mind blowing for me.
Yeah.
She went to visit on one of her patients today at their house, and the patient was I think second generation Lebanese. The patient's mom was there.
Right.
And they said like, oh, where are you from? And she said, I'm from Iran.
Yeah.
And you know what the mom said? We were over the moon when you hit Tel Aviv.
Oh.
So this is not necessarily just because of living there. She's living in Australia.
Yes.
But they still have a beef.
Yep. Still got a beef. Yeah.
You know, who had this type of beef until I actually opened my eyes?
Yeah.
For generations we had this beef.
Yeah.
Iranians, or at least certain part of them, or like a majority of them,
Yes.
and Iraqis, because of that 8 years of war. We
Yeah.
were always seeing them as enemy.
Yeah.
I came to Australia, and one of my really good friends, he was my colleague, and he was a friend of mine as well. He was from Iraq, and I was like, what sort of ideology through history? Because we were told that brothers and sisters were killed by these people. They were neighbors. I've lost some family members because of this, because of the Iran-Iraq war, right?
Yeah.
But we said like, they are enemies. They are bad people. I came out of there and saw them, and I was like, yeah, he's just another human being trying to live his best life, and he's here. But it's just sad that it's for the actions of the Ayatollahs and their radical system and government.
And I think, look,
The fact that at my parents' house, 300 or 400 meters away from them, I was talking to them yesterday, and they said like, 400, 500 meters away from their apartment, got hit by rockets.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
what's there?
What's there? Yeah.
And like,
So this is your parents' place.
this is my parents' place. Yeah, and like imagine 300, 400 meters.
Bang. There's
Bang.
a rocket.
There's a rocket that has an explosion radius, right?
Radius, yeah. Did they would have felt it surely.
Yeah, they heard it.
Yeah.
They heard it, and yeah. Fortunately,
Who was living there? Like, what's the deal?
there was a military research military research facility there.
In the house, under the house, what?
No, it's
Did
apparently
they know?
no the building, and no, we didn't know that.
It was
I
was
lived there in that suburb in that location for I don't
knew
know
it.
10 years. I didn't know that.
Dude.
It's you know that some of the brothels here they don't have any name, no
Oh.
nothing, and it's just a number.
I don't know. I know. I don't
That's
know.
what I was thinking. I don't know.
I really. No,
You
brother.
you know who told me that? My wife told me. We were
No.
driving and there was building, grey
Yeah.
building. Apparently
Yeah.
this is a sign for them.
Is it?
Yeah,
What-
that they
does
don't
it
have
have
any
any
sign or anything like that. They
numbers?
have really big numbers.
Oh.
And we were driving,
Okay.
and she said that,
Yeah.
oh look, another brothel. And I was like, how do you know that it's a brothel?
Yeah, big numbers.
And she's like, it's typical brothel. And I was like, how do you know? She's like,
Yeah.
everyone knows that. And I was like,
What?
not me. I didn't know that. So you can't say everyone. Apparently,
So-
Pastor Jay didn't know
I
that.
just know.
So,
big numbers.
To my wife,
Yeah.
not everyone knows that.
So
But they're basically buildings with maybe just a number, like street number. That's it. Like you have no idea who goes in there, who comes
so
out.
how? I mean, I guess Masada, whoever, they have an
They work it
intel.
out.
They know it's like the big number thing. There is a military research
Research
facility or what in this house under the ground.
It's
Whatever.
not necessarily a house. It's a building. Like
It's a building.
Yeah. imagine
They've
like
got intel. They must. But you
Yeah,
didn't know.
no, I didn't know that.
Masad knew, but you didn't.
and I was-
You don't even know your neighbours.
And I was saying like, where exactly? Because
Wow.
like 300, 400 meters.
Yeah,
And they said
come
that, you know that shopping center? Like a shopping building? Imagine like a,
Yeah.
we don't have shopping centers as big as here,
No.
but they're like
Yeah.
vertical.
Corner store or something.
Yeah, horizontal, vertical ones.
Yeah.
So here in Australia we have horizontal ones.
Yes.
But vertical, like it's like 6-story
Yes.
shopping center, right?
Yes.
And last time that me and my wife visited Iran, we actually went to that shopping center, right?
Right.
And we bought some stuff from there as a souvenir. And my mom and dad said, I go, oh yeah, such and such shopping center. I was like, what's there? And they said, no, not the shopping center, right in front of it on the street, like across the street from that shopping center. They didn't bomb the shopping center itself, the other side of it. And I was like, what was there? And they're like, apparently
bombed
the
it?
research. Yeah, they hit it by rocket. Yeah,
They
research
bombed it.
facility was there.
A
And I was like,
military-
no one
knows.
no one would know that.
But Israel knows.
Yeah, they knew that.
They've got it. Dude, I think if they got rid of the Ayatollah, it still wouldn't fix the problem. It just wouldn't. And
No, I think they would.
you reckon?
I reckon.
So Trump has said no, don't kill him. They wanted to. And
It's
he
a matter
said
of whether
don't.
how much they will listen to him again. If they could,
You
they
reckon?
would.
You reckon? They
I reckon
will?
that if they, I reckon
Well,
again.
it's all sponsored
again, I'm not-
money.
I'm-
If they don't listen to him, it's like, dude, we're going to shut the tap off.
Nah, they won't. It's like you should thank me. I did it for you. And yeah.
You reckon they will? Just knock him off.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they
But
would
what
have.
if you do? He's just going to be filled by some other guy that's a nut job. You know what I mean? Like,
Not necessarily. It might create, and that's another reason that some people are some Iranian people are happy about it, because then it might create a breathing space for society that was so suppressed to come and retaliate. There's a lot of unknowns, so that's why we don't even I don't know how to feel,
yeah.
but I can only pray that both sides see the love of Lord, see the light that can change their lives.
Yeah.
Some people might call me dreaming, but one
No,
day,
that's-
whether I'm on this earth or not, it'll happen.
Brother, that is the hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he is the hope, whether it's Israel, Iran, or Australia.
I think that there is a reason that Israel people have been stated as a chosen people.
Yeah.
If you're someone that wants to show your ultimate power, you would choose your hardest and toughest people, and the hearted and headed people
Oh, they are.
to turn.
Moses
If I
is
can
right.
turn, if I can turn these people, anyone else is, if I really want to, God being God, He
Yeah.
wants to show that I can lift the ultimate weight, not the.
Well, I tell you what, you only have to read Ezekiel 38, 39, man, other parts in Zechariah, and, well, even, Jesus and Matthew 24, like there's some hard times that's coming upon Israel, and you think of the Holocaust and how bad that was, and I think Ezekiel 37 is a fulfillment of that. Can these dry bones live? And they can, and they've stood up as an army. The bones have got flesh on them. They've got a spirit. They're a nation now, but there's some hard times coming, and that is the only way, because they are so hard-hearted.
Yeah, they are.
And I've been there, a couple of times. They are hard, man, to the gospel.
Think about it. Moses walked them through Nile River for a reason. Like he could have done a lot of things, right? Could have even the whole story of
The Red Sea,
Red Sea and all that. Why?
Dude.
Because I want to show you my ultimate power.
Well, it's 40 years, and they had an opportunity to take the land, and by God's power, like
They were just
Red Sea parting power,
yeah.
and did hard-hearted, and they're still wandering, man.
They're
It's
still
just-
wandering.
It's just a different land. They're still wandering, and they're trying to do it in their own might, but there's some hard times coming. But
We can
they
pray.
need Christ, and as
They do.
Iranian people,
As they do as well. yeah.
they do too. Man, I'm so glad that
Thank you so much for
have-
having me on the first episode. I hope that
Yeah.
the first episode. I don't know how long was it.
We're on 2 hours and 6 minutes.
2 hours, 6
There you
minutes.
go. That's good. I think
Maybe
we
we should
just
just publish it in parts. I don't know. It's just
no, we'll play a long play. But I think there's still so much to talk about, bro.
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
There's so much, but you share.
I might
these.
come back with a lot of hard questions that some of your audience might have.
Yeah,
like,
we'll do that.
Being less political. I'm sorry that this episode was a bit political. I'm not going to be in all of them, so you're safe with Pastor Jay. But I'd love to see Sacred Minds now up and running, and as they always say, make sure that you hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and
Thank you.
give us a thumbs up. Or leave a comment. What do you think about the Israel-Iran scenario? Where are you from, and what do you think about it? I would love to read comments about it.
Yeah, and just people of faith too.
People of faith as well.
What's your faith, and what do you think?
Yeah, when I was reading
Christian
comments
ideas.
online, this is so weird that you see comments. Depends on who posted it.
Yeah.
The comments about it are both extreme as well.
Yeah.
If there was a post from like Israeli person, which I understand why you
Yes.
post that, right?
Yes.
You are as worried as an Iranian person for their home country. You
That's
are
it.
worried for your beloved country as well.
Yeah.
And I don't
We've all
condemn
got
you. No,
bias.
I don't.
Yeah.
But when he was saying like in capital, he was saying Tehran is burning,
Yeah.
and everyone was like commenting, hit them harder, they deserve it, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I know.
On the other side, when you see
Tel Aviv.
when you see someone posted a video of like a BBC or CNN showing the Tel Aviv sky has been lit up by Iranian missiles, all these comments. You should have never, if you live in a glass house, never start
throw
throwing dead
stones.
throws. Yeah.
Now you know how Gaza feels.
Exactly.
You know,
all those
of
comments.
that.
Again, like a lot of comments like,
Yeah.
this is just the beginning, wait
Yeah.
for more, the Holocaust will be nothing compared to this. And I'm like, have you lost humanity?
Yeah, that's
On both sides,
Yeah,
regardless of
that's
what they
it.
believe, which deity they believe in, they
Yeah.
believe to.
Yeah, get the narrative right. That's the thing that we just need to really get.
Yeah.
You know, the narrative's got to be straight, and arrogant militancy. That's got to die.
Yeah.
The arm of flesh will not save you. That's why Christ came.
No, the peace will never get introduced to anywhere by sword.
Arm of military might.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you, brother.
Oh,
Wonderful.
I hope that I'll come back again. Thanks so much, Alex, for keeping up with us.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.